Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Chair Yoga. Today, I'm going to start with a reading. Oftentimes I finish with the reading, but I want us to let it start our class today. The focus I've got in mind is strengthening. So we're going to do some hard work. And as always, I trust that you're going to just pace yourself the way you need to and make your adjustments whenever you need to. But that's the intention though today is just get stronger to work on building strength, and we'll approach that from all different levels. The body for sure. So we're going to do some work for core strengthening the arms and upper body, for strengthening our legs, but also just to take a peek at other ways that we build strength, and that is maybe comparable to resilience. So keep that in mind. We're going to try to approach this opportunity to take a look at strengthening from all different angles. I'm going to begin with a poem that I've read many times, so it's not something new to you, but it's just this concept that I want us to keep coming back to. So let's get started in terms of just sitting up. Move into your transitional mindset where you're going to sit down in your chair in a proper way, coming away from the backrest, perhaps, so you can feel grounded in your feet. You feel how your pelvis is grounded, left to right, front to back. You feel really centered and strong in the pelvis, and that you close your eyes perhaps so that you can start to zoom in to the interior perspective, so you kind of block out the distractions maybe that will pop up, and you can connect with your breath. And a simple way to start is just to notice your body when you're breathing. What's moving, how do you feel it in your body when you're breathing? So it's a good place to start, and then from there the magic happens, because bringing our awareness to our breath deepens it. Just like that, you start to pay attention to your breath, and your breath grows deeper and stronger. So start with that for me, and I'll begin with this perspective that this poem offers. Yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement, guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. Yoga is not about the pose. So I'll join you in the chair, and we'll get started in this strength building class today. I'm going to encourage you to put your blocks between your thighs. If you are looking for a suggestion on how to use your block, that would be mine. But if you've got a better way for you that seems to give you the kind of awareness you're looking for, please choose that. And so again, we're back to breathing in and breathing all the way out. So I want you to really train yourself now to find your participation in the breath. So we're overlapping with the body's own ability, of course, to breathe on its own, but overlapping so our awareness says we're also participating in that breath and maybe steering it a bit. So let's make sure we're taking a full breath coming in and letting that full breath go out. Hands or paw. I've got my hands facing down right now. I'm going to encourage you to do that just so that you can press down into your legs so you feel your legs more so. I want us to really feel a sense of grounding, because that sense of grounding kind of gives us the realization that we're supported. And when we're supported, we're more inclined to maybe stretch a little bit more, give ourselves more challenge, because we know we've got the support we need. One more full breath, just centering, eyes closed. And then as you flip your hands to palms up, You can just notice the awareness of opening your palms to receive, that gesture of receptivity. Set your intention now for this class, what it is that brought you to yoga. This is for you. Stay with your own intention. Don't bypass this part. And then so it is. So let's open the eyes. And as we open the eyes, we're going to lift those arms straight up, just palms face forward. I want you to try to be intentional about the way you hold your hands. I try to, offer a suggestion like put your hands like in a mitten shape or spread your fingers apart, but I don't always. And I just want us to be intentional about it. So when you lift your arms or are moving, that you're just choosing intentionality. It's just a great way to include more mindfulness to your practice. So choose the way you're going to hold your hands from time to time. Inhale is a big lift, so you're going to feel that you're pulling your shoulders up and away from your hips, and exhale, we're coming down. So we're going to strengthen the joints. The movement through the joints will strengthen them. So we'll start with some movement in the shoulders. Let's engage the belly wall, so you can just start to pull that navel area in and feel the engagement of that. And this movement, of course, is a vinyasa. So if I'm moving at a pace that is different from your breath, which is very likely, because I can't, that's kind of the downside of teaching and having to speak through the class for me in terms of my participation. I don't align to my breath as well, but you can. So definitely finding the vinyasa of this. The exhale is down and the inhale is up. So don't try to match up my pace. Find your breath that matches with find your movement that matches with your breath. Let's get into the back body. We're going to do that now. We're going to lift up and then drop into the T. So you're going to open up your arms into a T shape. Stretch your hands open, spread your fingers apart, rotate your arms so the thumbs are pointing straight back. Stomp your feet into the floor so you really feel strong about your connection to the ground. Turn your head to look from one side to the other. Just, hello to the neck and how's it moving today? Take your time. We're going to look from one side to the other at your own pace. Just feel your way into it. Stretch. One side for me, definitely tighter. I've got to linger there. I got to stay with that and loosen it up. Breathe into it. I don't think it would be too far-fetched to say when you're finding resistance in your body, when something kind of, like ooch, ouch, that doesn't feel great, is a call for more breath there that you can say, well, one thing I can do right away, maybe lessen how much I'm turning or twisting or whatever that might be, but also breathe into that space that you're being notified by your body that you could try breathing into that space. Beautiful. Let's come back to center now. Flip your hands so they're just facing forward. We're going to do the open and close. That's going to move us through the spine. Open as you pull your arms way back. Exhale, round through your back body. So think of doing the cow and the cat a little differently now. Just calling it open and close, but it does the same action to the back body. Round through the back, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, open and spread it open wide and feel that just expansion through the front body. And a lot of movement in the back body. So this, of course, vinyasa, connecting breath to movement. Exhale completely. The better you get at that, the better you're going to find. You're just going to think, I rock at yoga. I'm really good at yoga because I figured out how to breathe all the way through, and then your body just loves that. It gives you all kinds of permission to go deeper and, just feel it differently. Let's open and then lift up. Palms are going to come together overhead. See if you can lift up without bending your elbows as much as you can. You're just straightening your arms. If you find yourself tucking your head to try to get your arms past your ears, don't do that. Let your head win. So you're going to let your head stay up, upright, nice and, nice position, well aligned. And you'll have to move your arms. The arms will move instead. Okay. Don't tuck your head so that your ears and arms match up. One more full breath. And when you exhale, come into the goddess pose. That's that bent elbow. And we're going to do a little open and close here. We're strengthening the upper body already. So keep your arms elevated at the height of your armpits and shoulders, and just open and close in this nice goddess position. Keep your belly engaged. You want to have a lot of core strength, just supporting this. Let's close and hold. So bring your palms together, your forearms together. Now see if you can lift your elbows any amount. Your arms are kind of pulling away from you just ever so slightly, and elbows lifting any amount. Might not be any big deal at all. It's like half an inch. Whatever you can do, lift and just feel that in your body. Bring your full awareness into the sensation you're experiencing. And when you release, bring those elbows out and palms down, your fingertips reach down now. Kind of a scarecrow look. So we're going to keep those upper arms positioned just as they are, and just move the lower arms. So you're just going to come from up to down, down to up like that. See if you can relax your shoulder blades. So it's just isolating the movement in your arms as best you can. And the back body relaxes, the neck is relaxed. And let's meet with hands up. While they're up there, I want you to move through your hands. Get your joints and your fingers to move. Do different things like touching your thumb to your different fingers. Just get some creativity here. Bend, get some movement. Try to touch your finger pads real close to that knuckle line. Just different things like that. It's a good mind-body workout, just keeping that connection, that when you pay attention to the movement. And then make a soft fist. And as you do so, we're going to just start circling those wrists and go slowly. Now, those circling wrists are going to allow us to get our arms alongside the frame of the chair here, just nice and slow. Change the direction all the time. And let's lose the block for right now. Just put it on the floor. We're going to use it in a minute, but just lose it for now and bring your legs together like a mermaid leg. So let's come into that mermaid leg. And then come back, if you will, to your goddess position, and see about moving side to side. I want you to notice when it takes, you're just moving your shoulder girdle, let's say upper body is just kind of moving from one side to the other, and your hips and buttocks and legs have to stay put. So legs together, how's that feel? And what kind of range of movement are you finding? Limited, or whatever it might be. Find your breath now. Make sure you're breathing through this. Squeeze those legs. And then lean over. So take one side of that and hold it. Let's go back to the other side now. Do the same thing. Hold it. And come back to center. Stay with me. Keep your arms in that goddess position. Let's open our legs wider now. Now do it. Now do the same thing. See what that does. See if it gives you more range of movement. And instead of the goddess position, instead of those bent elbows, let's just go for extending those arms in a T. I've got palms up, but you could do it either way. So if you want to flip your hands so the palms are down, that's okay with me. And just pull yourself without losing contact. So your lower body, the hips and buttocks, they're staying put. You're not losing contact, but you're really moving through, letting your core strength now move you around up top. Beautiful. Let's come to center, and palms will come together up and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, bow into your own heart. Inhale up, keep your legs just as they are. Twist over towards your right. So upper body is turning. You're going to put that back hand somewhere. Maybe you're holding onto the chair back there. Maybe you're pressing the back of your hand into your back body. You know the particulars about setting up a twist. So find your way, your entry point for stabilizing this revolved position. Feet are in a wide, feet and legs are in a wide angle. Spine is tall, so you're not leaning one side or another. Your spine is erect, very vertical. See if you can play with how much rotation you can get to turn your head. And that takes mindfulness, folks. You don't want to just do it. You got to mindfully move into that. Puff up your chest. See if your breath can feel broader. Your breath is broader in your rib cage there. You feel that broadening. We're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders come back to neutral. Let's do a little shoulder roll kind of thing to reset the body. So any kind of movement that includes some shoulder rolls, do that. Good. And then let's try the other side. So just inhaling up, exhaling, twist. Same rules. Keep that spine vertical. Don't lean from one side to the other. And be sure to include the turn of the head so you can explore what kind of range of movement in your neck is available right now. And what could you encourage? Let's broaden through that chest cavity. So big breaths. Exhale completely. Use the chair or not in terms of help guiding you and supporting you. Exhale completely. Now we're going to unwind the head and then the shoulders come with it. And let's get our hands onto those shoulders as we begin some real core strengthening. We're going to do crisscross, bringing elbow to the crisscross leg here. So come down and up. No tension in the mouth. Don't need anything in there. So soften up your face. And if you can drop, even deeper than just a touch of your knee, do that, that you're trying to fold down and connect in a way that is kind of a challenge to you, gives you a deepening experience. A little more work for you. That's what builds strength. Let's do one more on each side. And come back up. Now just circle those chicken wings, those little movement of the arms, kind of looks like chicken wings. Try to keep your head upright. Stay with the same direction for a couple more circles. And then change the direction of that. Good. Let's grab hold of our block now and bring your legs back to more neutral positions. So hips distance apart with your feet and legs. And I want you to just let that block, I'm holding on, just let that block loosen us up now as we're just kind of swinging around, really loosening up. Keep your feet planted. You want to feel like you're making an imprint on the floor. This might deepen the breath. You might start to feel a little more cardio, that your breath quickens. That's good. That's a good thing if you can handle that. And let's come back to center. We're just going to let that block drop behind the head, lift up, drop behind the head. Keep your elbows squeezing toward the midline. We're going to do a little back bend. So we're going to park that block right at the base of the skull. Hold on to it now and open up the elbows. Now let your chest lift. Start with that. Chest lifts. When you lift your chest up, chest bone, chest, the whole rib cage lifts up. It allows you to tilt your head back. Breathe in and breathe out. Hold that block and just let it become a nice support for your neck, for the weight of your head, and see what you can do. Maybe you can really lift up and face up, lift your face up toward the ceiling. Maybe it's just a slight tilt. All of that's good. It all counts. It all matters. Exhale completely now. And let's come back to center, and we're going to put that block maybe under the chair at this point. Okay, legs are now, let's continue to keep them in their hips distance apart. Let's get those arms up, and let's start to get the legs in motion now with a kick forward. So as you lift up the leg, you're going to touch it someplace. Keep yourself within the frame of the chair, so don't go too wide with this. Let your leg kick out right in front of you. And if a straight leg lifting is just too much, can't do that right now, try doing it with your knee bent. So you lift up and your knee is bent. So that's an alternative way. And just focus now. Just keep your focus on what you're doing so that your mind doesn't wander. Stay with it now. This is strengthening you. Try 2 on one leg and then go to the other one and do 2. And let's just do that for a while. Just a little more patterning here. And one more now on the other leg. That's it. All the way up, palms together overhead. Exhale now, bow to your heart. Inhale up. And exhale all the way around. When we come back to center, let's bring our legs back to that joined together like a mermaid leg. Elbows, forearms together. This time I'm going to have you just clasp your hands. Just clasp your hands. So it's a bind that we bind our arms together by just clasping our hands. A little more crunching now. Lift up those elbows and bring yourself down to touch your knees and thighs. Lift up and come all the way down and feel the roundness of your back. So really effort in lifting up. So you're creating a big space, lifting up, and then pull the belly in as you round into that space. This connection with your breath, the awareness of your breath is what sets yoga apart from anything else we do. And it's the secret sauce to what makes all of this such a beautiful experience of well-being. You come away from it thinking, I don't know why it's so good, but it's good. Last time, and then just open up into that position of the goddess, open up those arms, and again, just see about that moving side to side. This takes core strength. Your arms aren't helping at all. You're bringing your body back, from you pull away from center and come back to center, all with the strength of that core, that trunk of your body. We'll meet in the middle here. Just center yourself and drop those fingertips down and back up. Soften your neck. Don't scrunch up there. You want your shoulder blades to soften down the back. Last time. And all the way down. Let's shake that out. I'm going to open up feet a little bit wider. Let's get a hold of our leg. So we're going to do some strengthening. What we want your leg to provide a weight for you. So you're surrendering the weight of your leg. I know you've noticed I have socks on, and I know I don't always do that, but it's cold where I live. So I'm doing it right now. I'm kind of breaking my cardinal rule. Circle that foot around so that you can get some movement through your ankle joints. That's really good thing for helping your balance. Believe it or not, when we think about that we rely on yoga to help us balance. Well, we got to keep our joints, particularly your feet, your ankle joints, nice and strong, your knees nice and strong, so that you're steady, on your feet. So got to do this. And then I want you to do bicep curls. So remember, you're not letting your leg muscles do the work. You're letting your arm muscles lift the heaviness of your leg. So just think about strengthening now. We're just strengthening our arms and heavy ups like a ragdoll leg. And lift and hold. This time, grab hold of your shin and pull that in. Flex the foot, flex that foot. And then hover the straight leg out in front of you. So a pull on the bent knee is pulling in, and an extension of the straight leg. So it's a pull and a push. Try to keep yourself upright. There's going to be a bit of a leaning back, no doubt about it. There's going to be a leaning back, but just try to minimize that. Keep squeezing that bent knee in as you place that other foot back to the floor, and then we'll release it all. Reset the body now. Maybe you're doing some shoulder rolls, maybe you're doing a little twist, whatever your body needs. And for sure, catch up with your breath in case you've kind of lost that. So we're going to interlace our hands under the other thigh so we can get the heaviness of that. So it's just holding that leg up and start to move your foot. I'll bet you all heard some crackling and popping, because that certainly happens when we move around these joints that don't get worked out very often. So circle, maybe you're stretching your toes apart, and for sure circling around so your ankle is getting some nice workout. Every time we move through the joint, it kicks in some lubrication called the synovial fluid. So just moving your joints is just a way to take care of your joints. Let's do our bicep curls now. So we're using our strength of our arms to lift the heaviness of the leg. So try to override your inclination to let your leg come up and down, because you got leg muscles that could do that. Try to override that, and instead just have a heavy ragdoll kind of a leg so that your biceps get a little workout here. Soften your mouth, relax, just kind of do a quick body scan. Where could you loosen up? Where can you rest? We're going to do the push and pull and push. So pull in now, pull in that bent knee. You got to hold the shin now. Let's flex that foot and then extend the other leg straight out in front of you, hovering above the floor. Pulling in on one side of the body and pushing out through the other leg and through the other side of the body. It's one way to look at it. Let's deepen the breath. Feel that strength holding yourself like this. Of course, you got the great support of the chair. Really hold into that bent knee so you can get that other foot to the floor, both feet to the floor now, and any kind of movement your body might need. Let's take a wide angle now. Open up your legs wide. To use this space right here, we're going to dip shoulders right into that space. So hands are on the thighs, and I want you to come down enough that you can drop your shoulder in there. It's like you're trying to, so you see how I'm moving? I'm turning and getting my shoulder down in there. So maybe you start up here and then you come down. See what you can do to turn and drop that shoulder into that space. Don't move your feet too far away from the chair. You want to have a right angle in the bend of the knee there. So kind of keep your feet closer to the chair so you can keep that angle. Stay with it now. Feel that rotation of the body, dropping that shoulder, one shoulder at a time, into that center space. One more on each shoulder. And let's come back to center. Now we're going to lean into the back of the chair. So I want you to get a hold of the underside of your thighs. I'm going to give a side view of this. So you're going to be lifting up both legs. So get a hold of underside of your thighs and lean back so you can get your shins. We're trying to get those shins parallel to the floor. So trying to get your feet up there. So rock forward and back and get those feet up. Lift and hold now, lift and hold, get them up there. Now see if you can lift, 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 lift. No hands, just see if you can hold it like that. Give it whatever you can, maybe 1, 2. You just hold it. And great, all the way down, all the way down. Boot yourself up now. Let's come up to standing. Good job. Come close enough to the chair that you can feel it as a safety net. So we're finding our mountain pose, but we're going to feel You don't need to do anything. I think I'm taking my socks off here. But we just keep ourselves close enough to the chair that we feel the safety of that. Feet are hips distance apart. There's going to be a soft bend of the knee. Pull the belly in. Let that lift your chest cavity up. Palms are alongside the hands and arms are beside the body, and your palms are facing forward. Let's give a soft bend in the knee now. Pull the belly. Now let's find our mountain pose. Close your eyes if you can. If you're comfortable with that, close your eyes down. That's why I give you that idea of the safety net of your chair. So when your eyes are closed, you still have that sensation that, your chair's right there. I'm okay. I'm okay. I could open my eyes. I could sit right down. It's okay. But go back to finding your participation in that breath. You're deepening the breath now. You're encouraging a full breath in and a full breath out. Great. That's our little rest. Let's open the eyes, get used to the light. Inhale up, palms will be together overhead, arms are extended with no bend. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up, exhale all the way around, all the way down. We're going to situate ourselves near the chair in such a way that we can use it to create a tabletop. So hands are going to be on the chair seat. Shoulders are right above your hands. So you can see the tabletop that I've created. My arms are table legs. Back body is the table's top. Let's take one leg at a time, bending the knee and drawing it in toward the belly, and then extending that leg straight out behind you. Bend the knee, draw it in toward the belly, and then extend that leg straight out behind. So stay with one leg at a time, finding a rhythm of movement that suits you. If your wrists are suffering because of the pressure you're putting down onto your hands, got a couple solutions for you. One is to make a fist with your hands, make a fist, and so you're pressing your knuckles down instead of palms down. That really releases that. Otherwise, you might just cling to it like you're clawing your fingertips into it. That also sort of takes some of the pressure off the wrist. One more now. Both feet to the floor, take a little pause. Now we're gonna, in the middle here, before we switch to the other leg, I want you to do a squat. So you're just maybe opening your feet a little further apart, just what works well for your knees. Keep your body weight back, 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 pull it back away from your knees. And from here, we're gonna do a chair posture. That's just the very name of the pose is chair, Uttanasana. Let's bring our hands to our chest and hold that squat. Let's give it a count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hands are going to come back to the chair. We're going to stand up. Just bring yourself up. Take a moment now to just strike your pose, to come into your mountain, catch up with your breath. And if there's any movement your body would prefer to reset, then do that. If you just can hold and catch up with your breath, that's perfectly fine too. We're going to meet back in our tabletop. I might just move the other way just so you have a better view. You don't have to do a thing differently. I'm just kind of seeing if a different view would be useful. Same tabletop position. We're switching legs now. So we're bringing that bent knee into the chest and belly. Extend a straight leg behind you. Rounding through the back body as you bring your knee in towards your chest. That back body straightens out as you extend your straight leg back. Find some rhythm of movement with your breathing. Be sure you exhale completely. That's always useful. Go back to making sure you're exhaling all the way out. You don't need to have your eyes on the screen. I sure hope you're not doing that. You stay paying attention to what's going on with your chair and your body. Last one, bending that knee and extending that leg, both feet to the floor. Let's go back to opening our feet a little wider and finding a little squat with hands on the chair. And maybe you just come up and down from the bent knee. And then if you're game, we're going to do another chair pose, that Uttanasana. So we come into the squat. Palms can come together at the heart. Or if you want more challenge, reach your arms away from your body. Hold it as long as you want to or can. Just find your own challenge. Remember to exhale completely. And hands are going to come back to the chair. And we're going to come upright all the way up. Find your mountain pose. Catch up with your breath. When you're ready, turn your chair or move yourself into such a way that you can bring palms to the chair and walk away from it into our downward facing dog. So check that the distance you have between your hands on that chair and the distance you have between your feet, they're the same, about the same distance between your hands and your feet. Now try to straighten the legs out. And maybe this takes a little walking the dog. That terminology comes up a lot in yoga classes where we're trying to ease our way into this downward dog, tightness of the legs. So maybe one heel at a time lifts up like you're walking. And that kind of gives you an opportunity to stretch your way into it. Arms should pass right by your ears. That's going to help you your body kind of understand that the head, neck, and spine need to be kept in alignment. And it gives you a sense of security there, that you're really stabilizing your neck. Beautiful. Let's start walking toward the chair. And when we do so, we're going to step forward with the right foot and leave the left foot behind. Right knee now is going to bend. I've got the kneecap touching the chair. I kind of like doing that. When you're ready, come upright. Come all the way upright. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Feel those hip points. You can feel the boniness of your hip. Those hip headlights should be shining right towards your chair. Let's pull the belly in. Let's use our core strength we've been working on. And arms are going to come up. Find a position for your hands. Choose it. I chose the mitten hands. I've got my fingers together and my thumb extended out. Pull back. You pull your hands back, it's going to help lift your chest cavity up. That's the definition of a back bend right there. Manage the weight of your head. No strain in the neck. We're not putting up with that. Let's keep the left arm up in the air. If your right knee is bent, keep your left arm up in the air and take that right arm all the way behind you to touch the back of your buttocks, the back of your left thigh and buttocks. Look at that twist. There you go. Breathe. We're going to unwind from that. Both hands are up. Both hands now come back to the chair. Step back, downward dog. Same distance between your hands and your feet, just like we did before. Trying to straighten out your legs. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Big breaths in and out. All the way in, all the way out. We're going to start to walk forward towards your chair. Left foot will step forward, and we're going to leave the right foot behind now. We're switching sides. So bend into that left knee. I've got the kneecap touching the chair. Just works great for me in the height of my chair anyway. And bring yourself up. Take your time, nice and steady. Shine those hip headlights straight ahead towards your chair, and bring your spine up to a vertical position. You want to be erect with your upper body. Lift up your mitten hands or however you're holding those. I like to call this, for me, it's like this proud warrior position. The more you pull your hands back, the more you're going to find yourself in a back bend, because your chest will be lifting and you can ever so slightly tilt your head back because you positioned your body so perfectly for that. So your head is supported when you lift your chest first. And then let the head tilt back. Exhale completely. Now let's bring our hands together overhead. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. And exhale, hands back to the chair. And we're going to step back to our tabletop position. See how we're doing on time. We're doing great. So I'm going to start with my left knee. I'm going to lift that left knee out and off to the side. So just start with that. That is, start lifting the left knee up in the center, and then you move it to the side. A couple of those movements. The knee is bent. And I like to turn my head, kind of turning my body to kind of move, look in that direction. Now lift and hold. And then add a circle or two. And back with both feet to the floor. Bend your knees and bring yourself upright. Take a pause now. Just catch up with your breathing. Take a pause. Any movement your body is craving, this is reset time. And back to our tabletop. Hands are on the chair seat. Now we're going to move into the other leg. So I want your right leg up in the air now. Bent knee. Turn your head to look over there. And come back to center. Bent knee. It's a big lift. We're going to lift it up and hold it there, and then draw some circles with that leg. Keep your head turning to that direction. There's a couple circles. There you go. Both feet to the floor. Let's stretch that out as another down dog. Just walk back, stretch it out. And then let's come back to the chair. We're going to take our time now, softening the knees, bending those knees to bring you all the way up and find your mountain pose. Palms face forward, arms are right alongside your body. Soften the knees now, pull in the belly. Close your eyes. I want you to breathe through the whole length of your body. Create a full body experience of breath. So we've done a lot of work on strengthening the body, strengthening the legs, strengthening the core, strengthening our arms, our joints, and even our lungs. So I should just stay here for a moment and just feel that in your body, all of that efforting you've done, the gift you've given your body of strength. Beautiful. Let's have a seat, but we're not quite ready for our Shavasana experience. So I want you to come into your chair with a mountain pose in mind, I guess, that you're sitting in your chair, you're not using the backrest, you're bringing yourself back to an upright position. Let's do some movements, some very gentle and mindful movements through the neck. So let's start by dropping the chin toward the chest, but really lengthen your spine here. So you'll start to feel a stretch in the back of your neck a bit. Deepen the breath. And then turn your head so that it's like your chin is looking over towards your right shoulder or right armpit. And then you'll just gently move so you go the other way, left side. So keeping the head down, the weight of your head is down. Don't look out at the screen. You don't need to do it. Feel your way through this. Just gently letting your head turn from side to side, head down, chin tucked. And remember how sometimes we've worked with turning our head in a way that we notice how our ear is facing? You might be able to incorporate that here. When you're moving your head over so that your chin is looking to the left side of you, pay attention to where your right ear is facing. And see if you can find a little more range of movement. Any amount will create more. So if you find any kind of wiggle room in there, try to go into that. One more on each side. Just take your time. Stay mindful. And then come all the way up, all the way up. Beautiful. Let's get hands back to those shoulders like we've done. And we're going to do some circles here. Draw those elbows toward each other. When they come forward and into the front of the body, bring them together as close as they'll come. And this time when we come up, we're going to let our fingertips reach back to the shoulder blades. Now, again, this is where some people will tuck their head. They're trying to get their hands in the position I've said, and they're finding their head coming forward to try to make that happen. Let your head find the position it needs to be upright and in line with the spine, well aligned with the way you're holding your head, and let your arms figure it out. Let your fingertips reach where they can. Don't try to make it happen by tucking your head somewhere. Kind of stretch. See if you can use these muscles here. You're using the back side of your arms, of your upper arms, by lifting. So you're just lifting up and just soften your neck. Let your head, it's just fine. You've got the posture for your spine and your head and neck is just great. We're just going to see what we can do about these arms and stretching and lifting. Any amount. And again, let's see if we can bring our hands to a prayer position and work our way up. Inhale here. Exhale is the T. Inhale together. Exhale, open wide into the T. T. Let's find the goddess position. So elbows are bent. Open, pull those elbows back and close. Open, big breath, and close. One more time. Open. And when we close, palms are going to stay together, forearms are together. We're lifting up. Maybe you clasp your hands. That's our binding. We're going to make sure our hands and arms stay together. So you could clasp your hands to bind them as you lift those elbows, any amount. Take care of your head and neck. Don't try to compensate. Just make sure your head and neck are fine. And then the adjustment will be that your arms change. Maybe that the movement of your arms has to be a little different because the head and neck are going to stay just comfortable as comfortable can be. Lift and hold and breathe. Just lift and hold. Elbows are up as far as you can do. And you're breathing in and out. When we release all that, our hand's just going to come to our lap. I want you to squeeze your shoulders and release them. So squeeze and hold and release that. Beautiful. All right, let's set up for Shavasana now. So you'll scoot back into your chair, or you could lay on the couch or into a recliner, stretch out on the floor. Those are all kinds of options so that you just ritualize this the way that you feel, really shifting gears, transitioning into a very sacred, meditative type of space and allowing your body to be completely supported in that process. So feel the support of the chair and close your eyes down as soon as you feel comfortable with that, so you can really come into the privacy and the intimacy that it offers, that you really feel this intimate connection to yourself, and start with how you feel. And that's an emotional check-in. That's psychological check-in, as well as how the physical body is feeling. How am I feeling? Another way that we build our strength is by cultivating honesty. I read a book, I can't say the name of it right now, but years ago, and it was a couple that had written the book together as sort of couples therapy, if you will. And they used the term microscopic honesty. And I was kind of blown away by that term. Is that actually possible? That we are absolutely microscopically honest with each other? I don't know about that, but I know that it's possible for yourself to be that kind of honest within yourself. And I think that would be a source of real strength for ourselves in our um, true nature. So checking in, how do I feel? And just feel the support that you have, that you're being held by the chair, maybe by the warmth of a blanket, or the complete support of the floor or the space beneath you that you're lying on. And recognize that as support, so that you can just be. This resilience I mentioned at the beginning of class, resilience, kind of a hot topic in terms of all the various teachers that I seem to subscribe to. That's been a hot topic lately, building resilience. I like it. I like the terminology. I like the idea of it. And I think of it as the strength of the ability to go with life's flow. I think that's a fair way to approach the idea of what does resilience mean. And I think it's that we're grounded within ourselves, true to ourselves, honest with ourselves, and that we seek, the life force energy within us as our guiding light. And so then the things that go around, people's reaction to us, something that happens, within our universe, our friends and relatives and the space we occupy, that can be disturbing. Many times that happens in our life. It's the nature of human beings to experience that. And so resilience is that we can stay grounded. We can feel the sadness, absolutely. We can be mad as heck, but that we are grounded within ourselves. We're not going to be thrown off course. We're not going to lose our way. We can still show up with loving kindness, unconditional positive regard. So again, letting the chair support you as you breathe all the way through your breath cycle, in and out. So stay in the stillness. Stay with me now as I guide you through a little meditation, breath work. It's all about the breath. And find now and establish this rhythm of breath within you, that you feel the in and the out of your breath, and use that mantra, in and out, breathing in and breathing out. Say the word in and out. It'll help keep you focused. We start to wind down from class and from our time together, and sure enough, our mind is going to take over and bring us to the thing that we're going to do next. So let's just stay here, train ourselves now. This is strengthening the mind, disciplining the mind by staying with your breath and just using a mantra. It's a good tool. Breathe in and breathe out. Change your mantra to the words deep and slow. Breathe in deep, breathe out slow. To really feel the rhythm of your breathing. Feel that inhalation and the experience in your body of an inhalation. Feel the exhalation and that experience in your body. It's deep and slow. Now let's use the breath to just sort of reinforce some qualities or ways of being. Inhale love. Exhale fear. Inhale acceptance. Exhale judgment. Inhale forgiveness. Exhale resentment. Inhale joy. Exhale lethargy. Inhale freedom. Exhale expectations. Feel your body breathing in and out. Feel the calm and the ease within your body now. Now, let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh. Make the sound, ah. Inhale through the nose and exhale it, ah. Do at least a couple more like that. And start to introduce movement in your body while you do so. Bringing yourself and transitioning out of this meditation time. You find your way, come forward on your chair. So maybe you land back in a chair or sit somewhere, somehow you find a way to sit upright. So your spine is back, right aligned. And just feel that awareness of right alignment in the body. We've fine-tuned it. I think those of us who practice yoga, it feels good in the body. It's what feels right. It feels, healthy. It feels like, oh, I get it. This makes a huge difference in the way I feel and the way I can be in the world when I remember, to hold myself in right alignment. So let's wrap it up. Let's take our inhale together as palms reach up overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale back up. And exhale, let's share this loving energy, this very mindful place and power of that in the communities where we live. Palms will come together at the heart. We're going to bow to ourselves and we'll bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Julie. Namaste.
Namaste.
Much needed.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Stay warm.
Yeah.